Okay, so this is AQA GCSE Mathematics Higher Tier, Paper 3. It's 2007, June 2021? So it's June 21 there, just going to stop this. November 21. November 21. It's been saved as November 21. So that's what I want. Okay. Calculator. It's definitely November 21. Well, that's what I downloaded it from. It says November 21. It's just at the bottom there, it says June 21, but I did download it as November 21, so I'll carry on with this. Question 1. B is 3 more than the square root of A. Circle the correct equation. I've already done this once and it didn't record, so I'm doing it again. That's why the answers are already written down. And it's this one, square root of A plus 3. Obviously, it's not the ones with, because it's more, 3 more plus 3 than the square root of A. So we just want the square root of A. We don't want the square root of A plus 3. So that's why it's that one there. The largest number here, if you look down the list, it can't be the 0.54s because we've got 0.55 and that's 0.5 recurring. So that's 0.55 as well. So our answer is this one here. A line has an equation 3y equals 3x minus 2. So when you use the y equals mx plus c to work out the intercept, which is not c, it's when we've got 1y on the left. We've got 3y here, so we need to divide through by 3. So 3y divided by 3 is y, 3x divided by 3 is x, and minus 2 divided by 3 is minus 2/3. So then our intercept is x is 0, y is minus 2/3. So when it's like this, it's x 0, y minus 2/3, and it would look like that. Number 4, factorise x squared minus 64. So these arrows were saying it's the difference of 2 squares. When it's the difference of 2 squares, it's the square root of the first plus the square root of the second times the square root of the first minus the square root of the second. So this is the answer here, because the square root of 64 is 8. So if you multiply through x squared minus 64, and then the middle term's minus 8x plus 8x. They cancel out. Okay, number 5. 6 positive numbers have a mean of 10 and a range of 19. So mean of 10, 6 with a mean of 10 means the total is 6 times 10, which is 60. And then the range of 19 means that the highest minus the lowest is 19. Okay, so we know that the 6 with a mean 10 means we've got to add up to 60. And ours at the moment add up to 12 plus 7 is 19. 39, 44. 29, 34, 37. So the other two numbers have to total 23 because it was give a mean of 60. So these numbers in order look like this. So I thought we'll try a 2 there. If we've got a 2 there, that one there has to be 21. And then look, they do have a range of 19. So that was a bit like trial and error. If the 2 hadn't have worked, I'd have tried a 1 there. And that would have been a 22 there. But if we'd have had a 1 there. Oh no, if we'd have had a 1 there, it would have had to be 20 there to give us a range of 19. And they don't add up to 60. So it come up first time, 2 and 21. Okay, so they're the ones that we've got. They don't have a range. If they did have a range of 19 already, then the numbers would be in between those. But they've got a range of 12. So we know the numbers are outside. So I've started with the 3, because I could go to 2. It's positive, and then to 1. So I know I was going to get it either first or second time. Right, number 6. At a country park, there's a house, a museum and a garden. The table shows the prices per person to visit the park. So here. So one day, 480, house and museum, £12.50. House only 8, museum only 7, garden only is free. One day, 480 people visit the park, and it fills into this diagram here. 67 visit the garden only. So this is house, this is museum, so garden is out here. 40% visit the house and the museum. So I do 0.4 times 480, because that's 40%. That's 192 people, house and museum, so they're in the overlap there. 3/8 visit the house only, so we do 480 times 3 divided by 8 is 180. And then the rest, so it's 480, take away 67, take away 192, take away 180, leaves 41. So the total revenue, we've got 192 times £12.50. House only, 180 times 8, then 41 times 7, adds up to 4,127. Number 7, Jeff and Kaz, called them J and K, share 270 in the ratio 2.6 to 1. How much more than Kaz does Jeff get? So we add the two together, adds up to 3.6. 270 divided by 3.6 is 75, so it's £75 per share. So Jeff gets 75 times 2.6, £195. Kaz gets 1 times 75, which is 75. So Jeff gets 120 more than Kaz. Number 8. The heel of a shoe exerts a pressure of £198 per square inch. Convert this pressure into kilograms per square centimetre. 1 pound is 0.45 kilos. 1 square inch is 6.25 square centimetres. So we've got £198 per 1 square inch. So we've got to 198 times 0.45 kilograms per 1 square inch, which is 6.25 square centimetre. So do this on the calculator, 89.10 kilograms per 6.25 centimetres squared. So we'll divide by 6.25 and you get 14.256 kilograms per centimetre squared. Number 9, this one builds up, so I can't really explain it. It's best to write it down as a building up way. 4 to x is 1 to 2. So rectangle A, B, C, D split into 4 small rectangles. 2 of the small rectangles are shaded, 2 are not. 4 to x is 1 to 2. So we can say that x is therefore 8. Okay. And we've got to work out for rectangle A, B, C, D, work out the ratio shaded to unshaded, shaded to unshaded. So we need these areas, shaded area to unshaded area. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay, so this one here, this is 12. So therefore that is, oops, what's going on? So that one is 3 centimetres there. I've already worked out that is 8, so that's 24 centimetres squared, because 3 times 8 is 24. This one's 56, so that means that's 7. 7 eighths of 56, 7 centimetres. So that one in there is 7 times 4, which is 28 centimetres squared. So shaded is 28 plus 24, which is 52, and our unshaded is 12 plus 56, which is 68. Shaded to unshaded, 52 to 68, which is 13 to 17, because they're both divided by 4. We could have had 1 to 2 up there, maybe. Anyway, because we're dividing by 4 again, I don't know. Anyway, it's what it is. 13 to 17 is the answer, but in the mark scheme we've also got these of us if you've got 1 to divide both by 13 or divide both by 17. Okay, so all those are okay. Number 10. Solid shape is drawn on isometric paper. That's these dots here. On the centimetre grid, draw the elevation of the shape from A. If we look at A, we'll see the blue lines here, which look like that. A 2 by 2 square and a 2 by 1 rectangle. And then they want you to draw the plan, which is what you see if you look from above, which is the yellow shape. Okay, so it's a 5, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2. 5, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so that's what we draw there. Right, Eric thinks of a prime number between 20 and 30. His number is x% of 125. Work out one possible value of x. So our possible primes between 20 and 30 are 23 and 29. 23 23 divided by 125 times 100 is 18.4%. Or if it was 29, 29 divided by 125 times 100. These are done on the calculator, 23.2%. Number 12. Part of a regular polygon with 15 sides is shown. So it's got 15 sides. Work out the size of the interior angle. So we start with the exterior angle. It's always 360 divided by the number of sides, which in this case is 360 divided by 15, which is 24. Then the interior is 180, take away the exterior, in this case 24, which is 156 degrees. Number 13. A box is in the shape of half a cylinder on top of a cuboid. Work out the volume of the box. So I start with this half a cylinder. Pi r squared, well, a cylinder, or is a prism really, it's the area of the front times how much of it we've got, 15 centimetres in this case. But the area of the front is made up of a half circle and a rectangle. So we've got to do, the half a circle is pi r squared over 2 times the length. So it's pi times, now the diameter is 26, so the radius is 13. So it's pi times 13 squared over 2 times by 15 cubic centimetres, which on your calculator works out as 1267.5 pi cubic centimetres. Now the cuboid on the bottom is 4 times 26 times 15, which is 1560 centimetres cubed. So the total volume is this answer plus this answer, which is 5542 to the nearest cubic centimetre. Number 14, Phil sells ties. He increases the original amount of each tie by 10% to £13.20. 1 month later, he announces the sale, 10% off. He says the ties will be back to the original price because each change was by 10%. Is he correct? The answer is no. If we call the original price P, he starts off by increasing the original price by 10%, so we multiply it by £1.10. Oh, sorry, 1.1. We get £13.20. So our original price is divide both sides by 1.1. £13.20 divided by 1.1, which is £12. Okay, so now when he multiplies by, when he does the new sale, he goes 10% off all ties. So that means it's multiplying the price as it was at that time, £13.20 times 0.9. And that comes up as £11.88. So they're not the same. Okay, so 10% of the original price is £1.20 here, because it goes from 12 to 13.20. 10% of the pre-sale price is £1.32. So they're not going to be the same. Number 15. A buyer's spinner can land on A, B or C. The table shows the probabilities in terms of K of A, B and C. Okay, so what we know now is work out B. This is all these outcomes here. This is everything, so these have to add up to 1. So each of these is in here, adding up to 1. So we add up the K's first of all. 7.5K, 10K minus 0.15 is 1. So 10K is 1.15. K is 0.115. So B, because we especially want B, 7K minus 0.15. 7 times 0.115 minus 0.15, 0.655. Okay. Number 16. In the bubble, this is the method, and then I did the actual working out there. So P is the 0.214, Q is the 0.68, R is the 0.25. Use gradients to show that angle P to Q to R is not 90 degrees. So we're saying, is it 90 degrees? Now, if PQR is a right angle, the gradient, call it M of PQ, is the negative reciprocal minus 1 over M of RQ. Or you can say MPQ times MRQ is minus 1. Okay, well, MPQ we do the change in y divided by the change in x. So I've colour-coded where these come from. So it's 8 minus 14 on the top, 6 minus 2, which is 4 on the bottom. So we've got minus 6 over 4, which is minus 1.5. I use 2 as minus 3 over 2. And then MRQ, change, and it's blues now. 8 minus 5 over 6 minus 2, so it's 3 over 4. And if we multiply these together, minus 3 over 2 times 3 over 4, minus 9 over 8, which is not equals to minus 1. So therefore the angle at PQR is not a right angle. Number 17, m squared is greater than 9. So if m squared is greater than 9, m is either greater than 3 or m is less than minus 3. That's because, yeah, so that's the fact. You can test it on your calculator anyway. It's minus 7 over 2. That's the one. That squared is more than 9, because the minus times the minus makes a plus. So it's actually 49 over 4, which is 12 1/4. Number 18, simplify w to the power 1 times w to the power 0. Well, w to the power 1 is w. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So it's w times 1, which is w there. Number 19, the equation of a circle, x squared plus y squared is 11. Well, a circle, it's always x squared plus y squared is r squared. So our r squared is 11. So the radius is the square root of 11. The diameter is twice the radius, so it's 2 root 11. Number 20, a divided by b is 3c. I've called that equation 1. b divided by c is 2. I've called that equation 2. Work out the value of a when c is 8. So c with 8, c is 8, so a divided by b is 3 times 8, which is 24. That's equation 1 again, with c is 8. And then b over 8 is 2. So b is 2 times 8, which is 16. So we go back, substitute for b. So we've got b is 2. Oh, sorry, b is 16, c is 8, and we want a. Substitute for b, that's a 1 there. Looked like a 2 for a second. So b in here, a divided by 16 is 3c, which is 24. So a is 16 times 24, which is 384. 21. Babies at a clinic. Information about ages at babies at a clinic. So the ages 0 to 5 weeks, 5 to 10 weeks, 10 to 20 weeks, 20 to 50 weeks. Frequency, that's how many were in the clinic. Okay, and we have to draw a histogram. So it's the area that gives these frequencies. Okay, so this first bar is going to be from 0 to 5. So 5 times this height has to be 18. So we do 18 divided by 5 is 3.6. Then 23 divided by 5, this bar width is 5, this bar width is 10, this bar width is 30. So you then have to do this frequency divided by the bar widths. 3.6, 4.6, 1.7, 0.7. Okay, and then you draw the bars in. Okay. 22. The sequence of patterns is made using horizontal sticks and vertical sticks. So these are patterns, 1, 2, 3. We need to give pattern n now, and want the fraction of total number of sticks in pattern n that are horizontal. Give your answer in terms of n. So we want the number of horizontal divided by the total number. So look at the pattern here. When we get to the nth pattern, this first one is always 2n. There 2 is times 2 times 2 times 2. So this one is always 1 more than this one here. So the number of horizontal is 2n, and the total number is 2n plus n plus 1. So it's 2n over 3n plus 1. 23. The equation of a circle is y is 16 to the power x. Circle the point that lies on the curve. So what I did with each of these is, this is x, y for each one. Put the x into there and see if it gives the y. So the first one, is 16 squared equals to 32? No, it's 256. Is 16 to the power 32 equals to 2? No, it's much, much bigger. Is 16 squared 256? Yes, so that one's right. And this one is the opposite way round, because that's the x. 16 to the power 256 is not 2. So that's our right answer. Give it a circle. A different point has y coordinate 1 over 16. So the y is 1 over 16. 1 over 16 is 16 to the power minus 1. Y is 16 to the power x. So by comparison, x is minus 1. Number 24. A to the power b is 3, where a is an integer, b is a proper fraction. Work out a possible pair of values of a and b. Well, the one that came to my mind is that 9 to the half is 3, because a half is the square root. But other ones you could have are 81 to the quarter or 27 to the third, because they're all 3 as well. And they'll all come up on your calculator as well. So a is 9, b is a half is the one that I first thought of. Expand and simplify fully. So first of all, I did these first two. X minus 3 times x plus 2. X times x, x squared. X times 2, 2x. Minus 3 times x, minus 3x. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. And that works out to be x squared minus x minus 6. I've got to multiply that answer by x plus 5. So it's x cubed minus x squared minus 6x. 5x squared minus 5x minus 30. The answer is x cubed. And there's the x squareds. Look, 4x squared minus 5x minus 6x minus 11x. That's minus 30. Here's two similar cones. Surface area of A. That means one's it's got like a scale factor in every direction. Base height. Okay. Area A. Surface area of A is 2. Surface area of B is 4.5. Work out the ratio of the radius of A to the radius of B. So the scale factor squared, this is because we've got an area here. The scale factor squared is 2.25, which comes from 4.5 divided by 2. So the scale factor is 1.5. Now area is 2 directions, that's why it's squared. But the radius is 1 direction. So the scale factor of the radiuses are 1 to 1.5. Right, 27. D to E is A, D to H is B, H to G, where's H? H to G is 8B, E to X to H, 3 to 1, E to F to G, 1 to 3. Show that dx is a quarter A plus 3 quarters B, so d to x. So to get from d to x, we've got to do B plus 1 out of 4, so 1 quarter of H to E. So that's B plus a quarter. And to get from H to E, we've got to do minus B plus A. Minus B plus A. So it's B plus a quarter A minus a quarter B. So it's a quarter A plus 3 quarters B. Okay, so it's this one H to E. Because we've got to do it in terms of A and B, so we've got to go back along the B and then to the A. QED means shown. Is DXF a straight line? So we've got D to X. I'm going to do D to F now. And if they're the straight line, they've both got the common point D. So if D to the F, point F, is the multiple of dx, then they're on a straight line. So by multiple, it means it'd be the same multiple of A's and B's. So it'd be a multiple, it'll be, say, it'll be in this ratio. The coefficient of B will be 3 times the coefficient of A. So D to F, which is what we want now. So I've said it's D to G plus 3 quarters here of G to E. Okay, so D to G is 9B, and then 3 quarters to go from G to E is minus 9B plus A. There. It's 9B minus 27B over 4 plus 3A over 4. So it's 9B minus 27 over 4 b is 9 over 4b plus 3 over 4a. And this is 3 times a quarter a plus 3 quarters b, which is 3d to x. See, look? So they do lie on a straight line as df is a multiple of dx, the a's and the b's, and they share the common point d. They've got to have a common point as well, or else they could just be parallel lines. 28. A is 4.72 to 3 sig fig. B is 158. Work out the upper bound. You must show your work and you get 0 if you don't on this, because I looked at the mark scheme. Okay, so when we're doing a division, we want the biggest possible one on the top and the smallest possible one on the bottom. So the biggest A is going to be 4.725. It's a bound as well. So even though it can't be 5, that's the boundary for it. And then the smallest possible B is 157.5. And if you do this division, it comes up as 0.003. Oh, 29. This was fiddly. Actually ran out of room. You have to write all these methods in. What I came to the conclusion is these arrows here saying I'm not a particularly big writer, but just don't leave out the spaces. Right, so I'll talk through this. A, B, C are 3 points on the circumference of a circle, centre O. B, D, actually if I rub these out and then I can write them in as it comes along. I won't do the writing again, but I'll just explain it as it goes along. BD and CD are tangents to the circle. AB, DC is a kite. BDC is X. Prove that ABO there is 45 degrees minus X over 4. Okay, so I started with tangents to the circle make right angles with the radii. So therefore, angle OBD is angle OCD is 90 degrees. Okay, so it means that this one here, that's 90 degrees. And that one's 90 degrees. Okay, I'll just put this out. So let's move the next bit because it gets a bit messy. Okay, so that's the first bullet point then. Okay, so the next. Okay, now in the blurb at the top it says that ABDC is a kite, but also OBDC is a kite as well because they're radiuses, so they're the same. Okay, so I've got OBDC is a kite, so these angles here, these 4 angles here add up to 360. So angle B to O to C is 360 minus the 2 90s and minus the X. And this is an obtuse angle. The obtuse BOC is therefore 180 minus X. Okay. So let's move this one up now. Right, next one. So we've got that one there. That one is 100 and oops. That one there is 180 minus X. B to A to C. Oops, that should have come up with a highlighter here. B to A to C. Now what happens here, B to A to C is a half of this angle here. And the reason is the angle at the circumference is half the angle at the centre. So that angle there is half of that angle there. We start and finish at the same point. If you go to the centre, go to the circumference, that you can see that's going to be sharper than that one. Okay, and it's actually half as much. So put this here, move that up there. So we've got that one there is a half of 180 minus X degrees. Okay, so with now then, this shape here, ABOC, this is a 4-sided shape, and these angles here add up to 360. So let's start with this one here. Angles around the point here add up to 360 as well. So the reflex, that's the obtuse side, the reflex side, that's is 360. Take away 180 minus x, which is 180 plus x. Okay, we're nearly there now. And then I'm back to this quadrilateral. The quadrilateral here, ABOC. So those angles add up to 360 degrees. I should put there, but anyway. Missed off my degrees. I suppose x is degrees as well. There we go. So we've got, and then I called this small one here y. So we've got 2y, because that one is the same as that one, because these are symmetrical because of the kite thing again. So we get 2y plus a half of 180 minus x, plus this one here, which is 180 plus x, that one there. Okay. Oops, put the pen back. They make 360, so we get 2y, and then this is going to be 90 minus a half x plus 180 plus x is 360. So 2y, and there, that makes 270, and then minus a half x plus x is plus a half x equals 360. So we get 2y is, take 270 from each side, 90 degrees minus, and take half x from each side, minus a half x degrees. So y is divide both sides by 2, minus 45 degrees minus a quarter x degrees. Okay, and that's as required. And then the final one, a sphere is radius r. An approximate value of r can be found using the iterative formula r subscript n plus 1 equals the square root of 239 divided by r subscript n. We start with r1 is 7. So r2 is the square root of 239 divided by r1. The number there was always 1 less than the number there. So it's 239 divided by 7, which is 5.84, and that's on your calculator, and use it as the answer. Don't round it off. Then R3, so R2's got to go in there. And then you do the square root of 239 divided by answer, 6.395, which rounds off to 6.4, but leave the answer on there, because we need it in here. So continue the iteration to work out the radius to 1 dp. So R4 is the square root of 239 divided by the R3 answer, which is 6.113, etc., rounds off to 6.1. And then you do the same. So far we've got 5.8, 6.4, 6.1. We do it again, we get 6.3 when it's rounded off. We do it again, and then we get 6.2. And then we do it again, we get 6.2 again. So once we get the same number twice, then we can say we've arrived. It's 6.2 to 1 dp. But it's important to keep the answer on the calculator here. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, but let me know if you need any help with that.